All was so planned. Everything from the budget to the destination and the stops along the way. But then, how did we met? Not we, I mean the passengers.
Henka wanted to gather some people with the same kind of mindset.
We didn't knew each other.
The main point was that everybody would be interested in extreme traveling. So he gathered us and we started discussing about what we were going to do. The first thing that we had in our minds was that we could go to Norway by car and do some crazy stuff along the way.
For example, to go to the ghost house, to spend the night and all of that and see some sightseeing in Finland and Norway. And all was so planned. Everything from the budget to the destination and the stops along the way. But then, well, shit happened. We skipped the plan and bought the tickets to Romania and went there.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks from that decision.
We didn't plan anything. We bought tickets to Romania. We already had planned the Norway trip. And then we were like, okay, well, our destination changed, so let's change everything. Let's not make a plan. And that's what we did.
Day one.
We woke up in Bucharest. We were sleeping in this nice apartment.
From Airbnb.
Yeah, where two of us had to sleep on the floor. In the morning we just kind of packed our things and went to hunt for breakfast. So we started walking around Bucharest and we found this place that were playing some real OG gangster music. And then we decided that, okay, well, let's go here. We started checking out the menu and me and Jimmy thought that, okay, well, we're not gonna pay this much for some bread.
It was like 13 euros for one bread.
Yeah,
it was in Romania.
It
13
was like
euros.
Really expensive, but the place was pretty much for tourists. So yeah, it's gonna be expensive. But what me and Jimmy did was we got our breakfast from KFC because it's one of the best places in the world.
Yeah, boys went to the KFC and we started to plan all day where we would go next and what's the next stop. And then boys came back.
We came back and started eating our lovely KFC. And
the bread was good.
Yeah. And then this older man came up and asked for a cigarette and we gave him a cigarette and then he asked for light also and we lit his cigarette and then he just kind of stayed there and we were like thinking that, okay, well, what does this guy want?
What is he?
Yeah. So then he started asking for some money. He said, I think he was asking for 1 leu, which is the currency in Romania. And yeah, we gave him some money and then he went to Annika and
well, yeah, he looked at me and said something about, oh, you're so beautiful, you have beautiful eyes. And I was like, what? What's going on? What's happening here? And I was like, okay, weird. And then, what happened next? He asked also money for complimenting me. And I was like, okay, am I so ugly that I have to pay you for calling me beautiful? And well, he just stick there. You know, he didn't leave. He was like, 1 leu, 1 leu, 1 leu.
Yeah.
For complimenting me. He didn't give up.
He was a real businessman.
After that relaxing breakfast, we went out of the coffee and then started to find a train to Sinaia.
So we went to the train station and we went to the train that took us to Sinaia.
We came to Sinaia with train. I guess it was like something around
6.
There was clear weather. I really enjoyed that little town, you know. You could see those beautiful mountains of Sinaia at the background. Like, actually it was quite late. We were super hungry when we came there. At least I was.
Yeah.
I guess all of us. So we wanted to find something to eat and I guess this one restaurant came by and I'm pretty sure it was kind of huge mistake.
Yeah, it was the first one we saw and we just went there. I think me and Jimmy, we were the only ones who liked that place.
Oh yeah. Because you get these good steak portions, but the rest of us, we get like so bad. You know, I don't remember who ordered that pizza. Do you remember who was it?
Tane.
Oh, Tane
Yeah.
was it? Yeah, he ordered this pizza. He wanted some kind of like pepperonis and stuff like that on top of it, but he got something like with mushrooms. So he had to order a new one, and so he get another pizza with the mushrooms.
Again, and as we waited food, we have no place to stay at night. Me and Annika was searching Airbnb, and
Yeah.
we found an amazing apartment.
Yeah, if you compare that
Yeah.
to the last one. Okay, but so almost none of us got like good food, so we decided to go to the supermarket, and we found one, and I decided like, okay ladies, buy some wine for yourself, you need that right now.
Yeah.
I decided to use my skills at the kitchen, so
As Henk cooked,
Yeah.
we drink.
yeah.
Tukka roikulipuoli roast is in the kitchen. You have a chicken. Then we also have yellow penne pasta, cherry tomatoes, and I hope this works. This is a beauty. Oh no, not this one. Melted cheese stuff. So let's put it here.
Just a little bit. They're already cut, so you only have to make them a bit smaller, not that much. Yeah, man. It's good.
Shaky berry, yeah man.
All of us got like food which was burned or just too wet or something like that. It wasn't good at all. I think like after a couple hours everybody were like super happy, and the first wine bottles were empty, so we decided to go to the central to find some nightlife. So that was kind of disappointment.
The last evening went a bit late, and because of that we woke up late. Then we headed to the city center, or town center actually.
Yeah, that wasn't the city.
And
Then we just went to get some coffee, and we went to the bus stop to go up to the mountains. And I brushed my teeth, you know, behind the bus stop.
you washed your tooth. Yeah, we had to take a bus to the mountains, and the last evening we met some couple who gave us really good advice on where to go there and how do we get there. Then off we went to the mountains.
It went this crazy road where there's U-curves around every house.
There were quite narrow roads.
Henri was very eager to go down with his longboard.
Henk was all the time just jumping around there like, I wanna go down. Because he was like, yeah, that's a dream. But the only problem was that the roads were narrow, and there
was a little bit of traffic, and
So-
the buses,
Yeah.
buses that went up and take people to mountain, see the mountain.
When we reached our destination, we asked from the bus driver, are we there yet? And he didn't quite understand English, it seems, since he said that we're not.
But actually we were.
We almost went back there. We already made a U-turn and started going. Then we were like, oh no, stop. And then we left the bus. Then we got to the skiing elevators. I don't know what those are.
Yeah, ski lifts. I think.
Ski lifts. We bought our tickets to the mountains, and we had actually a plan to spend the night at the mountains. There were some kind of cottages, warm cottages that we could sleep in. We had looked those up, but since we realized that the cottages were way over our budget,
Yeah, they were pretty expensive.
so we just decided to take the lift there, and it had like a one stop before the top of the mountain, and even with the first stop there, we were taking loads of photos there because it just looked unreal, like stock footages or something.
Yeah, I think so too. It wasn't actually that kind of expensive to go to the top.
Something
7 to 11 euros. It was actually pretty cheap.
When we went to the top, yeah, there was this one cafeteria at the top, the only actual place there, I think. thinking.
Why
that-
were why I was the only one with the decent clothing? The soft shell jacket. Annika had a trench coat to the mountain. Goddamn, Jimmy had only shorts. You didn't
Yeah,
have
it was
long pants at all in there.
Everyone having these padded coats, and they still seemed being cold there. And me being a true Finn, I was wearing like the shorts that were above the knee, and I had this light hoodie on.
There was 0 Celsius degrees. There wasn't. It wasn't plus, or there wasn't. There was cold. It was 0, and the wind was like 15 meters per second. And you were with your swords.
Yeah, I was just mesmerized by all that. The landscapes there were just something I've never seen. I forgot that I could be cold or something. When others kept reminding me that put on some clothes, I decided to put on my leather jacket, but since it got too cold, the others went in. I decided to stay there and take some more photos. After that, Pete went in finally. The reason why I needed to go inside was I just couldn't hold the camera anymore, so I had to go in.
Yeah, but the mountains were a little bit rough looking, but beautiful.
From some sides there was a little bit of hay and grass. Like downhill it started looking kind of deserted there. There was no grass or anything. Then on the other side you could see the clouds on the level of the mountains. After leaving the mountains, I remember in the left while Pete was interviewing others, like how did everyone feel about that?
So guys, how are we feeling?
Well, pretty awesome, I have to say.
Absolutely fantastic. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
I remember just looking out the window being like speechless.
I don't know.
That's about it.